Hey guys, so a lot of people were asking me which is my main daily driver phone. So P9 Plus right here is my main phone that I use, that I have my main SIM card inside of it, and I've been using it for like 2 weeks and 3 weeks now, 2 weeks plus time. And now I am going to do a full review and talk about my experience with this phone. So I know a lot of people wanted to see this video. It's a little bit late, but anyways, let's get started. So first of all, if you talk about the price, this phone cost around $600, which is around like 62,000 PKR here in Pakistan. So yeah, it's a pretty expensive phone. It's a flagship phone. It's like the best phone from Huawei at the moment. So at least specs wise overall. So if we talk about the build quality, okay, so in $600 you're getting a top notch product. Okay, it's really premium, it's really shiny, and it feels really great in hand. In short, so I got aluminum body, full aluminum body, so, and has a really polished finish, so it feels great in hand, and I don't have to worry about fingerprints or anything like that. It's fingerprint proof, you can say, and I have to say it's pretty nice. And the buttons are also pretty compact, like the HTC 10. So really feels like a quality device here from Huawei, I have to say. So it's a big phone in terms of size. Obviously, P9 Plus, plus means big size, 5.5-inch display. That's also a kind of a main reason for me to use this as a main phone, because I like big screen phones. So you can see here that we do have an IR blaster on the top of this phone, which I remember, if I'm not wrong, the P9 doesn't have this. Okay, so IR blaster is a great thing. They have their own app. You can control like ton of devices, air conditioners, projectors, and stuff like that. And I've tested it out. It's really reliable and works really fine. So I have to say that's a nice thing that Huawei has it here, IR blaster. And on the bottom it does have USB Type-C, just like the Huawei P9. So you also get the 3.5mm headphone jack down there. You also have the speaker grill, and it's a kind of a stereo speaker system on this phone. When you play sound, you can hear the sound a little bit coming out of the front port here. So it is actually a little bit of stereo speaker system. This was not the case with the P9 Lite, but I don't know, with the P9 Plus I felt that it has this sound coming from both ports. So yeah, you can, but it's not something that like the HTC 10, which has a woofer down there, down at the bottom. So a little bit of stereo sound system there on this phone. And yeah, on the sides you got the power button, volume rocker, same construction as the P9 and the P9 Lite. You got your tray there for the SIM card and the micro SD card. Moving on to the display, like I said, 5.5-inch display, 1080p HD. So I honestly thought that they should have Quad HD with their P9 Plus. It's kind of a disappointing thing, because LG has a Quad HD phone, HTC has a Quad HD phone, Samsung has a Quad HD phone, but Huawei, we're still waiting. It's 2016 and no Quad HD phone from them, apart from the Nexus 6P, of course. But I'm talking about their original phone, so their exclusive phone. So no Quad HD, it's just 1080p, and it's not the most beautiful display, but yeah, I mean, it's bright. And one thing I've noticed, that it's not that much bright outdoor, like the P9, maybe because of the bigger screen size, I don't know, but felt a little bit uncomfortable in an outdoor situation, outdoor visibility wise. So I really hope that the display can get better in their upcoming flagship phone. So but it's a big phone, big device for those people who want to watch YouTube videos like I watch. So I mean, you can enjoy the media content on this big screen. Also, it is running Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow, which is the latest version of the Android. So you can see, pretty nice. So this is of course Huawei's own skin, and they have their own customization. You got a bunch of different home screens. There's no actual app drawer thing here. It's like they want to make things more easier for their users. So you get these tricks like knock to capture the screenshot like this. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to be making a separate video for the tips and tricks really soon. So this is how the lock screen looks like. and you also get like a control center thing in the lock screen where you can have the flash and camera, other stuff. You can quickly access to that. So I mean, the software is pretty similar to other, the P9 and the P9 Lite, except from some few additions there, here and there. But the big thing about this phone is that it actually has a Force Touch technology, like the iPhone 6s. So I'm going to be comparing it to the iPhone 6s side by side. But right now I'm going to show you guys the thing here, the Force Touch thing here, how it works. So just like on the iPhone, you have to press the icon like with the force, and it's going to give you some options. Okay, so let me just lower down the brightness and show you guys here the updater, sound, display, and Wi-Fi. Same thing, it works with the camera. You can quickly take selfie, video, and you can also go into the Pro camera where you have all the options to change ISO and white balance and stuff like that. So this Force Touch thing only works with the stock launcher. Okay, so if you plan on using the Google Now launcher or Nova launcher, it's not gonna work. It's also restricted to just system-based applications, so you're not gonna be able to use it with Instagram. Okay, which kind of sucks because I think Huawei is like currently testing this feature out. Maybe in the future they're gonna have third-party developers working on it. But believe it or not, Huawei was the first company to introduce this Force Touch thing back in their Mate S 128GB variant. And I know Apple, they came on later, but believe it or not, they have the best implementation with 3D Touch and the widgets and stuff like that. And the third-party support, they're going in the right direction. So really want Huawei to step up their game, at least with the Android department, Force Touch technology, because they were the first one to introduce this. So like I said, it works with the stock-based application and no support for third-party applications. So apart from the bigger display and the bigger battery, the Force Touch technology and the IR blaster are the new addition here on the P9 Plus compared to the Huawei P9. So under the hood we got Kirin 955 plus 4 gigs of RAM, so it's a pretty fast phone, I gotta say. And you can see the amount of RAM in the multitasking area. So this thing just flies through everything. Gaming, benchmarks, it's just everything is just so smooth, and 1080p display, it's not that demanding compared to the Quad HD displays on other phones. So definitely it's kind of a future-proof phone, as far as the lag is concerned. And also, if we talk about the benchmark scores, I don't normally talk about benchmarks because I do real-life speed tests. But this is the score that I have received on this phone. So 1,844 single core and 6,620 multi-cores. I believe this is actually the most highest score that I've ever got on any of my phone. Pretty insane, actually. 6,620 is actually pretty close to 7,000. I don't know if any phone at the moment can score up to that level, but this shows that this phone is definitely pretty powerful. Huawei is offering 3,400 mAh battery with this phone, so 6 hours and 53 minutes and 13 seconds is the screen on time that I got. And on average, you can expect in between 5 to 6 hours of screen on time if you play games. Okay, this is without games, and if you're someone who don't play the games that much like me on phones, then this phone will give you a really nice battery life for about 1.5 days, so or maybe almost 2 days if you use the power saving feature. So I have to say it's pretty damn good when it comes to battery life. Is it better than the Huawei Mate 8? I guess it's actually pretty on par, because the Mate 8 has a 6-inch display with 4,000 mAh battery, and this one has a 5.5-inch display with 3,400. So I mean, I have used both phones. I think both have pretty much the same battery performance according to my usage. So yeah, definitely that's a good thing. So fingerprint sensor is also on the back. I forgot to talk about it. So pretty fast. It shows the animation. And it's most of the time it's pretty accurate. Lastly, if you talk about the cameras, now the cameras on the back are the same as the P9, no difference. So you got the monochrome plus sRGB combination, dual LED flash, laser autofocus, partnership with Leica. So one of the best smartphone cameras at the moment. The colors are nice. The only things that I have seen lacking on this phone is a 4K video recording. You can't record 4K on this phone, which is a shame, because because Samsung's offering 4K recording since the Galaxy S5 days. Also, I've noticed that the autofocus is not that fast when you're recording videos. You know, it takes some time to focus on certain objects. On the front, you got 8 megapixel with f1.9 aperture size. Believe it or not, it's like one of the best selfie phones on the market. I mean, the selfies, the exposure, the way it captures light is just amazing. You can even get some pretty nice low light selfies out of this phone. And there's also a front screen flash feature where it flashes the screen to make the things brighter on the picture. So I'm really impressed by their camera UI. You know, it's a lot different compared to their older UI, which was looking a lot like iOS, but now it seems original. I mean, you got tons of options here. You can even see the microphone levels by switching on the audio control, which is great. So yeah, I mean, they have done great with the camera, but still no 4K video recording, no Quad HD display. But apart from that, this phone has pretty much everything that a flagship smartphone needs. So for $600, you can buy other devices also, like the Galaxy S7 and HTC 10. I mean, they also cost around that price point, but this phone gives you 64 gigs of internal memory as well as dual SIM card support, which is great. Having 2 SIM cards inside is pretty great, and that is something of a big plus point for this phone. So I mean, yeah, it's a flagship product. Build quality is great. Display is decent, 1080p. Performance is great. Battery life is amazing. And camera is also pretty great. I have to say, this phone has, like I said, pretty much everything to be your flagship phone, your main phone. Also has fast charging support. So, like I said, 64 gigs of internal memory is a lot, okay? So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I've been using this phone as my main phone, and I will continue to use it as my main device for some time until the iPhone 7 or the Galaxy Note 6. I don't know, but let me know which phones you want to see me to compare it. I know some people have requested the comparison with the Galaxy S7, so I'll be making that video pretty soon. Please stay tuned for daily tech videos. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.